Hi, this is a Minute of Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now, this week I want to talk about why that last 10% of a software project usually takes the longest. Okay, so one of the things I hear a lot when people call Overpass and discuss their software projects is it's not so much a new project. Sometimes it's a new project and it might be really well documented and really well planned out, or not, or just a vague idea, and those are all fine. But sometimes we get calls from people who have a project that's not gone right, or they've hired a development company, maybe overseas or maybe not, and they're just not happy with the way it worked, and they kind of want us to come in at the end and just work on it. They'll say, something like, hey Eric, I'm really not happy with what they're doing. They're 90% of the way done. We really just, I just lost confidence in them. I'm kind of wondering if you could come in and take over that last 10%. And it's really difficult when somebody calls, with something like that, because, and I think they sense my lack of enthusiasm when we talk about something like that, because one of the things you'll know as a software, if you're a software developer, you probably experienced this before. If not, you may not. Is that in code, in writing code, and in building apps and any kind of software, there are so many different ways to do things, and although there are software standards out there, in my experience, not very many people follow them. So you might have people using certain design patterns or like certain ways of doing things, and you may have some people who just kind of crash through and just build and build and build without any kind of testing or automated testing or any kind of testing at all. So it's very difficult when you come into a project. It's not like if you were a construction worker and you had to finish building a bathroom, or tiling a bathroom or something, because then you pretty much, you could look at it and think, okay, I can see what they've done or what they haven't done. With code, you have to go through line by line. Hopefully it's documented. More often than not, it's not documented. Go through and find out what's going on, and how to fix things. And it's a lot of the times when somebody brings to you a project and say it's 90% of the way complete, when you look at it, it basically knocks it back to probably 60% at least, because you have to go through and understand how everything worked, and you have to decide whether or not anything needs to be rewritten. So my advice always is that if you've lost confidence in your developers at the very end of a project, you really need to try to stick with them, or maybe I'll offer to come in like as an advisory capacity and just say, let's have a look at the architecture, or maybe I can help you with App Store setup, or something like that. Something that's not we don't want to chuck them out because they may be the only ones who know how the code works. Now eventually you may have to rewrite that, or document it, or whatever. But I've had the same problem myself, where I've had code that I'm really not happy with, and it's very tempting, because you're a perfectionist, you want to get everything right. It's very tempting to throw everything out and just start again, right? However, what you really need to do is go live. If you don't go live with an app, you don't know how well it does, and you do not want to rewrite something that's never even been released, right? And I've known people who do. I've known quite a few people who've done that, where they've had the app released and they basically treat it like or not released, but actually built, and they kind of treat it like a prototype, and then they'll say, they'll get a new developer, and a new developer will say, we just need to rewrite this thing from scratch, and so that's what they'll do. They'll offer to do that. So it's not an easy thing to do, although it is possible. So one of the things that I was, when I was contracting, I was very good at doing, was finding those little places where we could tweak without touching the code. And there are applications that I have that I've had developed for me, where there's big chunks of code which I will not touch because they were just dangerously badly written but working. So a badly written but working code is better than not working badly written code. However, as soon as you need to make changes to that, it's very difficult to do. So ideally, what you want to do is have coding standards at the beginning of your project, and if you're going to hire somebody else, have them adhere to those standards, or to give you a copy of the coding standards that they use for building your application. So so that's it. My message this week is that even though you think your project is 90% of the way done, you do not want to change developers, because that actually could take longer to complete it in the end. And that last 90%, that last 10% could take as much as the first 90% did to finish. So it's just a strange thing. It's just always the way it is. You know, when you get to that last 10%, then that's when you realize that you're actually have another 30% to go, or 40% or 50%. So that's a normal thing. So anyway, that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll talk to you next week. Goodbye. Hey, I really hope you liked that video. Now, I do these once a week, so if you want to hear more, or you want to hear more about our experiences with the App Store, either Google Play or iTunes, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and please like this video and leave a comment. I love reading the comments. I love hearing what you have to say, even if it's just hello or whatever. And like I say before, if you're not sure what to say in a comment, like I never know what to say in a comment, I'll make it easier for you. Like if you liked it, just go ahead and say gnarly, which is an 80s term, or if you didn't like it, just say bogus, and if you didn't think any of it, just say right? So that would be a big help. And another thing you could do, which I'd really appreciate it, if you're on the App Store and you want to try one of our apps, look up some of the Overpass apps applications, either on iTunes or Google Play, and leave a review and let us know what you think about it, either good or bad. But it's we're all trying to build up in the market, so that would be a big help. So that's it. I'll talk to you next week.